And now, around the world and around the corner, it's the David Bowers Awards, bringing the best in indie music to millions of listeners worldwide with your host, the David Bowers. We've got a fantastic lineup of guests, as well as our engineer extraordinaire, Nick the Geek, our entire crew here at the Asylum, and me. I'm John Bon Jovial. And now, here's the voice of indie music, the David Bowers.
Thank you once again, the legendary John Bon Jovial, and I'll tell you what, we've got a, if not legendary, nearly legendary guest coming up in just a very few minutes, but more on that in just a few minutes. I want to welcome all our listeners around the world.
Don't call him a moron.
No, I did not say that, John Bon Jovial. There you go, misinterpreting everything I say again. I don't know what I'm doing. Say hello also to our listeners in Rochester, New York, who listen to us on our FM affiliate, WRFZ FM 106.3, Rochester Free Radio, and also to Mary Perry, accredited disability representative in Rochester, who underwrites the David Bowers Awards on Rochester Free Radio. Thank you very much, Mary Perry. We appreciate your support. We've got a lot of music, as the intro said, and we're going to get to that right after we also mention that this is, in fact, the David Bowers Awards, the show that is always an award show, and that makes each of our guests award winners. We just decided at the creation of this show that there were so many award shows out there, might as well just make everyone an award show, and so we did. And if you have someone or something that you think is deserving of an award, music-related, drop us a line, David at TheDavidBowers.com. Tell us who or what you think deserves an award and why, and perhaps we'll use it right here on the air. You get to pick the award winners, and so do our guests for that matter. We don't have any nominations or anything, but we do have a working agreement this year with the folks at the Independent Tone Awards. I urge you to check out our posts online about that and how you can help us pick nominees for the Independent Tone Awards. Yes, they do have nominations for the Independent Tone Awards, but we're helping with that and giving you the opportunity to help too, simply by telling us who your favorite indie artists are, and of course in what category. If you're worried about what categories there are and how to select them, go to independenttoneawards.com and check out their categories there, and drop us a line with the name of your favorite artist and the category for them to be nominated in. You can nominate up to and including one nominee for every category in the awards program, or you can just send us the name and category for your personal favorite artist. Whatever, at the end of the program in October, we will select the David Bowers Awards nominees to go to the Independent Tone Awards and be entered into the balloting for Independent Tone Awards in December. If you got all of that, I sure hope so, because I'd hate like heck to have to repeat it all again. If you have any questions, drop me a line, David at TheDavidBowers.com, and I'll be more than happy to explain it to you in email or textgram or something. Somehow we'll get the explanation out to you. Okay? All right. Today we do have a lot of music and a lot of fun coming up, and we're going to get right to it right now with our first new song of the week. This is a guy who calls himself Steve Papa Bear. You can find him online at Steve Bear Music. His song is called Poison Me.
I hate the way you look at me. I hate the way you can set me free, but I know you're gonna poison me. I love and hate those big brown eyes. I really love those bonds you tie, but I know you're gonna poison me. You hold me down like a fighter in a UFC grip. Then your hands move lower and you lean in and bite my lip. Something inside flies north when my zip flies south. And the devil and me know exactly what's going in your mouth. I got my eyes crossed, toes curled, fists clenched like a spring trap. I'm gonna let loose blow your girl clean off the map. Got a mouthful of heaven, you say goodbye to my grace. And you still got that I ain't done with you yet, boy, look on your face. There's gonna be a funeral soon. Well, here lies me with a mournful tune, 'cause I know you're gonna poison me. There's a fire in the hole right where you're sat. There's nothing I can do to avoid that trap, 'cause I know you're gonna poison me. Grip, and then your hand moves lower and you lean in and bite my lip. Something inside flies north when my zip flies south, and the devil and me know exactly what's going in your mouth. There's gonna be a funeral soon. Well, here lies me with a mournful tune, 'cause I know you're gonna poison me. There's a fire in the hole right where you're sat. There's nothing I can do to avoid that trap, 'cause I know you're gonna poison me. Poison me. You're gonna poison me. You're gonna poison me.
Hi, this is John Bon Jovial. And if you're confused by all this, I just want to remind you that you're listening to the David Bowers Awards, right here on Blog Talk Radio.
There you have it, Steve Papa Bear and Poison Me. What'd you think of that one, John Bon Jovial?
I liked it. I mean, I don't know if this is nice or not nice. I mean, you know, the first thing that came to mind was I like the song, but now I know what Barney Fife would sound like if he were singing that.
Oh, okay, I guess we won't be having. I guess Steve Papa Bear isn't going to want to come on the show right away.
I'm sorry, that's what hit me. You know, I like the song. It's great. It's well done.
It is.
I really do. It's a lot of fun. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's Barney Fife.
Oh my gosh! For those of you who don't know this, I've mentioned it in the past. I deliberately, when I select the music for the show, I purposely do not have John Bon Jovi hear it ahead of time, because I like to get his fresh, unbiased opinion the first time he hears a song. So we can forgive your Barney Fife. That was cute. I like that. No, hey, I think it's a catchy song. I heard it, and I said, I think this is one we should play on the show. It kind of bridges a little pop, a little touch of country, maybe some Americana, but it's catchy. It's fun. It's a nice, easy listening. Make a good drive tune cruising down the freeway. You know, it's a neat song. I like that. Steve Papa Bear, Steve Bear Music Online, and a thing called Poison Me. John Bon Jovial, how are things in your corner of the world?
Well, I'll tell you what, we had a great 4th of July. The kids came over into the house with literally a truckload of fireworks, and we just blew stuff up all night. Of course, if, you know, this weren't a family program, I could say what we really blew up, but, you know, we can't do that.
It wasn't the truck, program. I take it.
No, it wasn't the truck. But we had a great time. It was, of course, here in Florida, and it's summertime, and it's hot, and it's humid, and the mosquitoes are out. But, you know, we've developed ways over the years to get around those nasty little buzzers. And it requires taking a really long shower afterwards. But, you know, it was a nice night. It really was. How about you? What's going on there in the Valley of the Sun in Tempe, Arizona?
Well, actually, we've discovered a way around the mosquito problem and the heat problem. We stay indoors with the air conditioning on. Of course, when it's 110, 112 degrees, it's the only sensible thing to do. A nice 4th of July, safe and sane, and watch the fireworks from the window. I'm not going to sit out on a 100-degree evening watching fireworks. I'm sorry, those days are a part of my past. I'm not that crazy anymore.
But I thought it cooled down to a nice, balmy 90 degrees.
It does usually around 11 o'clock. About 11 o'clock, it gets down around 90. Somewhere along in there, it gets below 100. So,
and by that time, you're looking at your eyelids.
Yes, exactly. Of course, I was going to say the 11 o'clock news, but of course, out here on Mountain Time, we get the news at 10 o'clock, not 11 o'clock. But I still, I spent my lifetime. I grew up on that 11 o'clock schedule, so that's pretty normal time for me to get ready to call it a day, and I still do. Moving on right now, our first guest this week is in the situation of transitioning from a classic act to a new emerging artist. And while the group that he was in was never known as a hit-making machine, they did definitely make some noise. They were a classic act. They built an enormous following that still thrives today, and his solid guitar work in the second era of the group led the way. For 5 decades and 4 incarnations, Little Feat has been performing and recording a unique blend of multiple genre-inspired music. Top-shelf songwriting, unparalleled musicianship have given us one of the greatest rock bands ever assembled. And from the second incarnation, we're proud to have with us today and announce the return of frontman Phil Brown. Here's a memory for you.
From Little Feat, Paul Barrere, guitars and vocals, Sam Clayton, congas, Kenny Gratney, bass, Richie Hayward, drums and vocals. Join incredible guitarist Phil Brown on tour this Wednesday at Uncle Sam's. The backbone of Little Feat.
There you go, Little Feat. And a little-known fact before we bring one of the Feat in here, shortly after Los Alamos National Laboratory Director Norris Bradbury helped create the atomic bomb, he and his music teacher wife unleashed another explosive force on the world. It was called Phil Brown, and he's here with us today. With new Phil Brown music to share, welcome everyone, if you would please, the Phil Brown and his Apaches from Paris. Hello there, Phil.
Hey, hi everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
It's good. You guys sound great. Made me laugh quite a bit.
Oh, great! It's great to have you with us, and to have the merging now. We're gonna talk a little bit about the past, because you were the second lead vocalist with Little Feat, correct?
Actually, Paul, there were 2 others in the band. There was Lowell, then Paul Barrere, the rhythm lead guitar player, and Billy Payne, the keyboard player. So I would actually be the 3rd, maybe the 4th, because everyone sang except the bassist. But Richie sang too, and so did Sam Clayton.
Okay, then I guess to clarify the way I should put it is you replaced Lowell when he left the group.
If you want to say that, you can. It was such an amazing band. My goodness, it was great.
It was undoubtedly an amazing bunch of people, artists, because it turned into such an amazing band to begin with. I mean, the fact that it has survived this long and still has the enormous following it has says an awful lot about the music and the groundwork you laid going back to the very beginning. Now, you were with them from what period now?
Probably about 6 to 7 months in 1981. The Hoy Hoy record had been released, and Lowell had died the year before. And I knew everybody. I'd known the bassist, Kenny, since Delaney and Bonnie in the late 60s.
Oh, gosh.
And saw them
that brings
on
back
tour
some nice memories.
They were on the road opening for, believe it or not, Blind Faith. And the earlier band before that was a band called Taste that featured Rory Gallagher, the Irish guitarist. Anyway, so I was in Los Angeles in 1970.